Welcome back to another episode of Heim Time. I'm Emma Heim.
I'm Travis.
And we're back.
We are back officially.
Right.
We're going to record last week, and then NBC5 called and needed to film, and that was the only time that they could do. So we were like, all right, psych. I guess we'll film that. And then that was good for the business, I guess. But no podcast last week. So anyway, we're back. This episode, although we didn't bring the bottles this time because I forgot, left them in the garage.
Sponsored by?
Imagine that we're holding delicious Trace Agave's tequilas. Right. Yeah, I wish I was right now.
It's 10 a.m.
Trace Agave's tequila, organic, single-sourced, 100% blue agave tequila. Proud sponsors of the Heim Time podcast. We thank you for your support. What great things do you have to say about Trace Agave's?
It's delicious. It's organic.
2.
You can feel good about what you're drinking.
Yep.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
So that you yourself are safe, and then the others around you are safe.
Yeah.
And it's also they got 3 different types, which is really cool.
Blanco, Añejo, Reposado.
Yeah, which is like great for every different palate. And then they also have some mixers.
We got the organic lime margarita mix, strawberry margarita mix, mango chili margarita mix, pineapple ginger margarita mix, Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary's probably great. And then they do agave nectar too.
So there you go. Everything you need.
All organic.
All the same.
Delicious.
Tequila company.
We would recommend pouring a big glass of tequila and just zoning out, listening to Heim Time podcasts. Right?
Sounds like a fun time.
Okay. Shout out to all of the Patreon followers.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. We got a few new ones. We are up to, let me count, 35? 35 loyal
Are we like doing this?
patrons, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. We have an actual sponsor, and then we have Patreon followers, so pretty amazing. Shout outs. I think I mentioned this guy last time, but I don't remember. So you get maybe a double shout out. Tom Pastel. Tom, what's up?
Tom, great name.
Right? He's got like
Welcome
a little
to the club.
Dog guy is like a thing. Probably an awesome guy. I don't know if you're familiar with this person, Tucker Heim.
Oh, hey, Tucker.
Yeah, dude, that is my sibling, my brother.
My sibling.
And thanks for the $5 a month. But yeah, Tucker, very proud of you. Shane Benton, Sugar Shane.
Oh, Shane. Hey,
Mr. Bronner's buddy.
I don't even think Dan's a member.
No, Dan's a cheapskate.
No, he does eat at our restaurant a lot. So it evens out.
Yeah, he's one of our good friends, but he also has to save money for Yeezys and whatever the new drops
and stuff that he takes all the time.
The new shoe drops are, so it's okay. We still appreciate his support. But Shane, shout out Shane, you're the man. Cody Sudderth.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know a lot of Codys. I know like 7 Codys.
Hello, Cody. You're the best one that we know.
Yeah, so far you're great. I think you're the only Cody that supports this podcast. So number 1, Cody. Cody had some barbecue questions too this week, so hopefully we can hit those. And last but certainly not least, one of our absolute favorites, Casey Closser.
Casey!
And I still don't know if it's Closser or Clauser. I feel like I ask her that a lot, but Casey's a manager for us. And
she's at the Riv.
She's at the River. Unfortunately, I think she's in 3rd place in our fantasy football league.
Oh, yeah.
Not to bring it up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not as good as 2nd place.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's not as good as 2nd place or whatever. 1st place is better.
Okay, moving on. So yeah, if you want to support this podcast directly, patreon.com/Heim Time Podcast. We are talking about doing some turkey Thanksgiving related videos. We have to have find time to do that. You have to film them. I have to cook them, I guess, but we're going to try to do some exclusive drops on there. We always put the videos, obviously, first on there, but we're trying to make that a whole thing. Merch drop possibly coming. We've talked to a few people, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, thanks for your support. If you just listen on Spotify, Apple, whatever, that's great too. We really appreciate it. Tell your friends. Anything else?
No, let's do it.
Let's do it. Hit it, Paul.
Good evening from Fort Worth, Texas. It's slow here in the heat. We're down Main
Good morning, Fort Worth, Dallas, wherever you may be listening from. This is the Heim Time Podcast with your hosts, Travis and
Emma.
Heim. Thank you for
It could
listening.
also be the afternoon or the evening, depending on whatever time you're watching or listening.
Yeah, true. I don't know when people listen to podcasts. But anyway, it's us. We're back. We're in studio. Feels good.
Hello.
Small break. This episode brought to you by Trace Agave's quick shout out, delicious tequila.
Delicious.
A lot's happened in the last week or two.
A lot has happened.
For real. We have Patreon questions and topics that we can hit. We have a lot of stuff, but first things first, big news out of college football.
Okay.
That I want to bring up. A lot of talk, a lot of crazy things going on, especially if you're a Big 12 football fan. And this story dropped last week. So I just want to read you a tweet. This is a real tweet. I'm hearing a report from a credible source that Texas Longhorns special teams coach Jeff Banks' monkey allegedly attacked and seriously hurt a young trick-or-treater last night on Halloween. The monkey's jaws apparently had to be pried off the small child.
Oh, my God. The jaws?
And let me just reread
I mean, that whole thing is absolutely absurd, but that poor child.
Texas Longhorns special team coach Jeff Banks' monkey, just right there is...
It's like the weirdest
I don't know what's going on.
sentence ever.
I have no idea what's going on. And then a follow-up tweet. The monkey is apparently his girlfriend's. So
what's the girlfriend's name again?
So this says the Longhorns just hired Jeff Banks, who left his wife and kids to be with I don't know if you can say stripper, is that PC? A performer.
Yeah.
Dancer, whatever.
I don't know what that would be now. Is it like
is it like stewardess? Like you can't say stewardess anymore?
I don't know. I don't want to say anything.
Who left his wife and kids to be with a stripper, I didn't write that, sorry, named Pole Assassin.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
Has been on Jerry Springer and has a pet monkey who is a part of her act.
I like that they threw in has been on Jerry Springer, because then that just tells you right there what you're working with.
I mean, so she's obviously a pro. Let's just put it out there.
Assassin, you could
obviously, say. I mean, like the Jason Bourne of stripping or something.
Strippers.
Yeah, and I was talking to a good friend of mine whose name rhymes with Schmamuel Schmronner, and I sent him this. Well, he did a little research, and I guess he said that she is, in fact, expert level, I guess, pretty qualified for the Pole Assassin
good
moniker.
on him.
Yeah. So
thanks for sending my husband videos or whatever.
He didn't send any videos. It was just more, let me do a little research on this and get back to you. So I appreciate that. She writes back on her personal Twitter.
Never good.
And I'm just going to read it how she wrote it. So people lie so much, it's ridiculous. Stop believing everything you hear. and more of what you see, shaking my head. Someone wrote, I don't want to believe it. Is your monkey and the child okay? No one was viciously attacked. This a lie, a whole lie. She was not a part of any haunted house. The kid did not have permission to be on the other side of my property.
So then this did happen.
So then someone said, so you're saying there was a kid?
And a monkey.
Mrs. Assassin, I had a haunted house on one side gated off. He had no permission to go past the gate. I had no idea. He went in my backyard. Neither did I know anything about a bite until a doctor of neighborhood told me the treat, a small bite. No parent have contacted me about it. And then this person wrote, is the monkey vaccinated? Could be serious, which I couldn't tell if that was a joke or not. Like monkey vaccines or like real vaccines, but
No, like
kind of
like
funny.
animal vaccines. Right?
Yeah, she has had all her shot. She a emotional support animal who not to be touched. She speak by command of high five. No one is allowed to touch her unless I myself say it okay.
But like she said it didn't happen, but then she's like, it totally happened.
It definitely happened. So again, Jeff
that's
Banks,
wild.
coach at University of Texas, special team coach, who gets paid $1 million a year, which is a lot of money for a assistant coach. Well, yeah. I mean, you got monkey money
Yeah,
at that
you got
point,
monkey
right?
money.
I mean, that's like, I'm trying to get monkey money, honestly. Like, you remember Des Bryant
Yeah.
had a pet monkey named Dallas, which I always thought was great. So anyway, this is a wild-ass story. Apparently, they had a haunted house at their house, which looked sick, by the way. And then she took a video where you have to go through multiple gates to get to the back, which again is like, you should not be post. Like someone says your monkey bit a kid, don't post videos of it on Twitter. Don't try to defend yourself,
Yeah.
right? So she like walks through the yard. There's like 2 gates. You get to the back, and then there's a monkey habitat, right? Like a cage of sorts, where I guess the guy lives. I forget his name. That would have been
monkey
crucial.
is it?
I think like a capuchin,
Like one of
like a
those
snow
cute
monkey,
ones?
yeah, type
Okay,
thing.
that is pretty cool.
No, it's a little cute guy. Or girl, I'm not sure. But then on the, here, I got a photo, and I'd put this up on our Patreon, I guess, but you go through the video, you go through like multiple gates, and then you get back to the cage, and then there's a sign that says, do not enter in blue marker, and then underneath in black marker, where like, have you ever written something and then you like run out of room, so then like the
Yeah.
letters are all like squished
Hate
together?
that. It's the worst. Is that what it looks like?
So then underneath it says emotional support, no touching, which is like,
Why would you not be able to touch an emotional support animal?
listen, and we're not here to judge. We're not
No.
here to investigate. I mean, I
But
do want to
is it illegal
investigate.
to have a monkey at your house? So that's why they say it's an emotional support?
I don't know. All I'm saying is the sign looks like if you were
Izzy
like,
wrote it.
if you were like, you have a minute and a half to write a sign and then tape it to your monkey cage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like that sign wasn't there like 30 minutes
Oh,
ago.
I see what you're saying.
It looks like
It was
pristine.
after
And then
the
it's
event.
2 different colors too, which would be like, if I got to fake this, I would just do like, oh, see, blue marker and black marker, right? You see,
Mm-hmm.
see, and that's the thing. Like, you're not dealing with like a pole amateur. You're dealing with a pole
An assassin.
So
It's big time, dude.
2 steps ahead, she's like, okay, so this monkey bit a kid, but I'm gonna figure out how to work this and make it work. So anyway, fascinating story. I
What
think
happened?
I don't know.
Great.
I don't know. That's all I have so far. I mean, I report, you decide. But it's interesting.
Is that guy in trouble? The coach?
I mean, it's, I guess, technically not his monkey. Because I think it's his girlfriend, Mrs. Assassin, who it's technically her monkey. So I don't know how that works necessarily.
Weird, dude.
But I guess a kid did get bit.
Clearly, I mean, she basically like rats herself out in her own tweets.
So
She's like, he saw a doctor, all this stuff, but like it didn't happen.
so hopefully that kid's okay. You know, we're not trying to make light of that, although I guess I am a little bit. But
Dude, good thoughts and vibes.
SidelineProvisions.com, they do a lot of merch stuff, and they do merch for our buddies for the People podcast, the golf podcast. They came out with some Pole Assassin hats.
Okay.
Themed for your favorite college team. So you can get
It says Pole Assassin? Oh, nice.
Pole Assassin. Pretty good, right? But you could get like a purple and white if you're a TCU fan, or maroon, crimson.
How are those selling?
Pretty good, I'd imagine. Shout out, little free plug for you guys. But yeah, so anyway, big news out of college football. We'll see what happens. I mean, I reached out to Pole Assassin to see if she would come on the podcast, and haven't heard back yet. So maybe we'll see if
Can't wait if that happens.
See, if we can pull that off. So the other big news, college football.
Dun, dun, dun.
I hate to say it, but called it.
Yeah.
Called it
GP.
a little bit. Last podcast,
Yeah, you did, and I was like, don't
you were
say
a little
that.
bit like, I don't
Just
know.
because, like, you know, around here in these parts, that's something you don't like to say too much, you know.
I mean, all I'm saying is,
Dude, what I gotta say is, though,
Okay.
for real.
Go ahead.
So that happened this week. No more Gary, which is like super sad. But then we went to the game, and it was the best game. It was so fun.
So, not
was
to
so fun.
you're jumping ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Gary Patterson, TCU coach for 20 plus years,
It's like 25, I think.
mutually decided to
Part ways.
which not really what I heard. But I think the athletic director, who was a dick to me on Twitter, so I don't like that guy at all. Screw him. But that's neither here nor there. The athletic director, who hasn't done anything good since he's been there, but you know,
What's his name?
I don't want to say his name, but
Okay.
you know what, you know,
I just don't know who it is.
you don't know him. He's like the last couple of years, I think, he's
Okay.
been there, because our old guy went to
Oh, yeah.
Texas.
Yeah. I remember. Okay.
Yeah, he's a dick. So anyway, I guess they asked him to finish out the season and then like retire or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you know what? Let me just leave. You want to fire me? I quit. And so, but still helped out the team. We had a big rivalry game. We got tickets from an awesome guy on Twitter
Yeah.
whose like son was getting married or something. And he was like, I got
Yep,
these tickets
can't
if you
make
guys
it.
want to go. So we were playing number 12 Baylor Bears, big rival.
Yeah. PDO, Parents Day Out.
Yeah, PDO.
PDO.
Is that a thing that people say?
PNO. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure PDO is too.
In the Legends Club, I think is
Yeah,
what they
Legends
call
Club.
it. Pretty swanky
Pretty
digs.
nice.
Pretty
Some
nice.
of the nicest tile I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
They look like little.
You did like the tile.
I know, it was beautiful. It looked like almost like a mermaid tile or something, like fins or something, but I think maybe going towards like a frog, but it was purple,
Yeah.
iridescent-y.
Yeah, they had barbecue, which was trash, which I
It's really
tweeted.
bad. Someone actually, like, I was walking to the restroom and someone was like, just literally yelled and was like, when are we getting Heim in here? This barbecue's trash. And I was like dying.
Well,
I was like, I mean, I'm open to
maybe
it.
when we get a new athletic director. I think John Bonnell is responsible
would
for
that-
most of that stuff. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, which makes sense. But so yeah, that was fun. We had a good, enjoyable time, and we were like, you know what? We may be out of here by halftime. Baylor's got a pretty good team this year. We don't necessarily have a coach. And then what
And
happened?
then they just started playing so good. It was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're at the stage of life too where like we watch the halftime shows too.
Yeah. Fire dancers.
I was like, wow, we're watching this.
Yeah.
Like, because normally we'd be like going out to the truck to get drinks or something.
TCU band was awesome. Baylor band played like a Macklemore song.
No, it was Foo Fighters. They did a whole thing for Foo Fighters. Dude, I remember that part, okay?
Okay. Excuse me. I didn't know they were allowed to listen to rock and roll music down there, but
anyway, fun.
TCU fire dancers
fun
throwing the
game.
things in the air. That was awesome. Chandler Morris, freshman QB,
Yeah, why didn't we
coming
put
in.
him earlier?
I don't know. He's good.
I feel like I should be the
He's
coach.
really good.
Who's going to be the coach?
Well, so TCU won, so they stormed the field. Everything was awesome. I drank way too much. We had a great time. You drank responsibly.
I did.
I was on that Trace Agave's tequila. So having a wonderful time. Who is going to be the coach? This is the
Will
thing
they
that
pick
I'm a
a
little
coach
bit
before
worried
the
about.
season's over?
Probably. That's kind of
Really?
how it works. Like, so Texas
There's like
Tech.
one game left, isn't there?
There's a couple games left. Texas Tech fired their coach. They've already hired a new coach who was an assistant at Baylor, and he like already left. Like he's already in Lubbock.
Isn't like Urban Meyer available?
Oh God. Technically, he's the Jacksonville Jaguars coach, but probably not for too long. The big name right now, which I don't want to like talk bad about, because if he does become the coach, like we have a great relationship with TCU, so I want to continue that. And they like bring recruits in and stuff. One primetime Dion Sanders, who,
Why are you a little bit anxious about that?
well, he's an incredible player, right? Hall of Famer,
Has he coached?
one of the best cornerbacks of all time. He was a coach. He created a school in Dallas called Prime Prep Academy. And we don't have to go into it too much, but this Dallas Morning News article from 2016, The Spectacular Collapse of Dion Sanders Prime Prep Academy.
Collapse? Okay.
Employees left without jobs or paychecks for their final month of work. I don't think they were ever like accredited as a school.
Like literal school?
Yes.
Like learning school?
From what I understand, the issues with Prime Prep started before Prime Prep was even formed. That was the ultimate demise of the financial situation. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, I think the goal was to create like an IMG Academy, which is a thing in Florida, and it's basically like, it's for sports. Like they just have like the best football team, they have the best basketball team, all that. It's a school, but it's mainly to try to. So I think that was kind of what they were.
For athletes thing.
Yeah, sort of. Like you're good as a freshman at Heights or whatever, then you go there and they, pay for you to go there and all that. Kind of like the documentary about the place in Maryland.
Yeah.
We watched the same type of thing. I think that was the goal. So that was a massive failure. Then he coached at Trinity Cedar Hill, which was a small private school that when they were in our district at the private school I went to, and would just destroy us. Like they were so freaking good. And I guess he was the coach and coordinator there for a few years, and they had success. Then there was talk about him getting the Florida State job because he went to Florida State. He was a legend there, All-American, blah, blah, blah. And he had no real experience, so they didn't offer him, which probably they should have. So he went to Jackson State, which is a historical black college, small school. But his whole idea was, I'm Dion Sanders. I can bring these guys that maybe would go to Alabama or go to Texas or something to this small school. This is going to make it a whole thing, and we'll build a program, which is great. And they've been successful. They're not like doing like undefeated and everything. Yeah, he's the coach there. And they're doing well. His son's the quarterback. They're doing well. He's had some sort of issue with his foot, which is another weird story or whatever. But
Dion or the son?
Dion. Like he can't walk on his foot because of issues with surgeries or something. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But like
So
the
then-
first week he was there, he like accused somebody of stealing all his jewelry after a game, but it was like one of the team managers had just like moved it into like an office because he just left it out. So it's just weird. So anyway, he's a great guy. Well, I don't know if he's a great guy. He's a great athlete, one of the best athletes of all time. He played Major League Baseball and football at the same time. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah, when he was with the Braves, so incredible. I don't think he's a good fit at TCU. Maybe he helps with recruiting, but it's like I don't know. It's not really our issue. Our issue is like. Well, we have a quarterback now. Hopefully, we have one of the best running backs in the Big 12 who was hurt this year. So it's like you just need to bring somebody in who like knows Texas and all that stuff. The UTSA coach was an option, but he just signed another contract extension. The pipe dream is Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Oh,
Some people are saying that, but like
is that little guy, the young guy?
who was the backup for a while. He played at Boise State for a long time, and there was talk about him getting the Boise State job last year, and what off the record or whatever I heard, Jerry Jones just money whipped him and was like, whatever you want, you know,
Nice.
you'll stay here. And so regardless maybe of what happens this year, the idea is that he is in line for the Dallas Cowboys job.
Oh,
So
so if he left, then he wouldn't
maybe
get Cowboys.
they try to figure. I mean, if you win a Super Bowl, what do? Right? Coaches won a Super Bowl, but maybe there's a way that they get McCarthy out, and then Kellen Moore is next to move up. So if a guy is next to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, why would he come to TCU? And that's maybe
Yeah.
just TCU fans hoping for the best or whatever. So I don't know. I have no idea. And if Dion is the coach, I will welcome him with open arms and
Such an
wish him the
uncertain time.
best. But yeah, it's odd. It's very odd. But anyway, that's
It was
college
a
football talk.
great game, though.
It was a great
Super
game.
fun.
Had a really, really awesome time. So weird with not having Patterson there and everything. And
That
kinda
was
what
weird.
we took a photo with the statue.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
the guy's got his own statue outside. So
took
that's
a photo with it. Yeah, posted
Pretty,
it on the gram.
pretty crazy. Would you want to take a job where the guy before you has a statue outside of the stadium? I mean, you got to be kind of like pretty confident because
I don't know. Like, it kind of seems like just this next person. I don't want to jinx anything. May not be there a while, because then that is a big.
sounds a lot like a jinx.
That's a big. What do they say? Shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Fill, to come in and then
Exactly.
just be like, make it even better. I don't know. And again, he does have a statue there, so that's just a lot.
I would have to agree with you. So who knows? We'll see. But shout out Frogs, great win. It's always great to beat Baylor, especially when they're ranked.
We
But I
sat
wish them
next
the
to a
best.
couple Baylor kids that got tickets from somebody in the Legacy Club, and they were really nice, but they kept calling me ma'am, and I was like, dude,
Getting old.
I don't know. I was like, geez, this is ruining it for me, kids.
Well, we bought them drinks too, and then afterwards I was like, I wonder if they're 21. I mean, I guess they had
They
drinks.
had drinks.
So, yeah.
Those bars weren't really checking IDs as far as I saw.
No, not at all.
Or it might have been like, ma'am, you obviously don't need your
Madam.
ID checked.
Madam,
Madam, step right up.
hey, old lady, what do you want? A glass of Prosecco. This I thought was funny. There's a bar in Dallas that posted a sign on their jukebox. Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You will be skipped. This is underlined. Will be skipped if played before December 1st. After December 1st, the song is only allowed one time a night.
Once?
And so we've talked about this a lot because I've been a Mariah Carey fan
We know.
for a long time.
Still, dude, she's rough now.
I mean, not bad. Not bad.
Their standards have just gotten lower and lower over the years.
Dude, like what was the one video way back in the day?
I don't know.
Mariah Carey, awesome, looking good, doing the super high whatever. Yeah. I mean, I've been a fan for a long time, so.
All right. So anyway,
Mariah, if you want to come on the pod, yeah.
She won't come on this.
You never know.
High maintenance.
Hey, we had the mayor on. This is a big time podcast.
On Andy Bravo's Watch What Happens Live, she made him switch sides with her because he's always on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, that's my good side. So you have to switch sides. It's the only person he's ever switched for.
Yeah, and I respect that. She's notorious for being like 5 hours late to her own concerts that people spend money to.
And also terrible on stage.
I think lately is a lot of lip syncing kind of
she
stuff.
Like literally
I don't want to accuse anyone, but
like people like pick her up and like move her around. Have you seen that that video where she's like literally getting pushed around on like an office chair and she's just like sitting there?
It's like marionette or whatever.
Yeah,
they're just like doing her arms and legs.
Dude, seriously, it's pretty funny. Like, she's just like, I've made so much money, I don't even care anymore.
Literally so much money.
So, like, that leads us to, when is it too early?
You're flying by every topic. So, do you agree with the ban? That's a great song. I love Christmas songs. The earlier, the better to me.
Their argument, there's a couple of arguments there.
Right.
When is it too early?
Never.
You want to play that in, like, April?
I don't want to say April, but like dips below 70 degrees, I'm in.
And then second is like everyone plays that song. So like, is it too frequently played? So if you are like at a bar where you can do a jukebox or whatever, and then like that's like four times every 30 minutes or whatever.
You're okay with once a night?
No, not once a night.
Whoa.
I always think about there's a couple times we were at the Tourneys, like late night party, and like Walker plays that song and everyone's just like screaming, it's like having the best time. Mariah Carey comes on, it's Christmas time, there's a tree up, like just so fun.
So once again,
I think about those times.
Mariah Carey brings people together.
Yeah, it's great. That comes up, I'm like, dial to like 20 in the car.
But there is, and then we took that Uber to the TCU game and the guy was like, they lost my listening because they're starting to play that Christmas music, that damn Christmas music.
He's like, they're definitely not getting
sir, I'm sure
numbers.
They're upset about that you're not listening. I don't agree with them, but I respect their right to do it. And if they want to ban the song, then I think that's fine.
I think it's just like, there's a special time of year.
Yeah.
And it's Christmas time. And it's
Christmas.
Wonderful times. And like, why try to take it away from that wonderful times? You only get like a month. Last year we put up our tree and stuff, I think like mid-November, because I was like going to have a baby and we weren't 100% sure like.
You had a baby?
Yeah, if it's going to happen, or when like the times. Like if I'm just going to go into labor or whatever, and then like, well, I don't want to not have a tree.
Yeah.
So I was thinking I might do it kind of early again this year, but it's already the 10th. So I was going to do it like before Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving? So see, that's a faux pas to some people.
Dude, I did it last year. Tradition.
Christmas lights.
Well,
when is it okay?
Freaking won't let me do Christmas lights because you won't get on the ladder.
I will not. I hate ladders. I'm not a ladder guy.
Then find someone to do it and make me happy. It's my birthday times too.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people already have lights up.
I've seen that.
Lights, trees, multiple trees.
Okay, what about inflatables? Because this is you've purchased an inflatable.
No, I purchased. It's not for our house. I'm gonna do a plug. We're doing Thanksgiving packages, heimbbq.com/pre-order. Scroll all the way down is our Thanksgiving packages. You have about 9 more days to get your orders in.
Selling out quick.
They are going really quick.
Yeah.
We're stopping on the 19th, Friday the 19th at 5 p.m. I'll take everything down, so get your orders in. But we are doing all of our pickups. Here's another thing to listen to if you have gotten an order in Fort Worth. We're doing all of our pickups at our corporate office in White Settlement. And so we're doing like whole drive-through and stuff. And so to create a obvious, hey, here's the pickups, I purchased an inflatable turkey to put out.
So we've discussed this because
Not at my house.
An old rent house that we had literally across the street, they would have 30 inflatables.
Like, no joke. All sizes.
Yeah.
From small inflatables to like those giant ones.
But
it's like
Halloween inflatables, Thanksgiving inflatables, Christmas inflatables,
Like,
Easter, I think
about
even maybe they broke them
their
out.
electric bill. Like, they don't ever not have them up too. Like, just now we drove by
That
to
yard
head
is
here.
never empty, yeah.
Yeah, and it's up. It's all up. So it's
They got
like
the
all
turkeys
night,
up.
Yeah, they like took down Halloween and then they're immediately like, all right, on to the next.
So you're okay with like one inflatable, but not a lot.
I don't know, dude. Those are like, when those came out, I was like, those are kind of weird. But I also like, it's your season too. So everyone celebrate how they want.
I remember in middle school or high school, they were just started becoming a thing, and we were at a friend's house, and we were just running and like jumping on them and like bursting the people's inflatables in the middle of the night. Yeah. In hindsight, it wasn't great. Yeah.
If that was your inflatable, that was Travis Heim.
Yeah, I was in Crestwood about 15 years
That's
ago.
messed
So
up, dude. Those people
16
probably
years
still
ago.
think about that.
Probably, but we've all grown since
I don't
then.
know. I'm like more of like a classic
Yeah.
design type.
Frosted tree or regular tree?
I would love to do a frosted
Natural
tree.
too, or
Nah, fuck natural.
see, natural's a lot of work, I feel like.
We
I
did that
love
all
natural
growing
trees.
up through
Yeah.
my entire life. And it was like a thing. Like the
Yeah.
family would we wouldn't go to like a farm. We would just
Yeah.
go to like Lowe's.
Drive to Montana,
Yeah,
cut a tree down.
we'd do like the whole, what's the movie?
Christmas vacation.
Christmas vacation,
Yeah.
that style. No, we just like go to the local hardware store or whatever. And it was so fun. But then like we would just be like, dude, these needles are everywhere. It was just a whole thing. But the
Sap.
smell
There was
was
always
so
sap
good.
everywhere. That was weird.
Yeah, and like your dogs are like drawn to it because we would always do like sugar water
Right.
in the bowl for the water, and
I think
your
you're
dog and
supposed to,
cat would always like come and try and get it. And so
And Izzy's crawling around now, so she'll just
we
like,
have
go
never had a
straight
real
for
tree
that.
since we've been married in 10 years.
Well, we were also so poor we couldn't even buy a tree.
Yeah, we had like a 2-foot tree for how long? Like 5 years. And then finally I got a Costco membership and I was like, okay, I'm investing in a tree, which to be honest, I think is too small. No. I'm an ornament person too. Like if you're going on a trip,
You do have an ornament collection.
if you're
It's
going on
pretty
a trip, you're
impressive.
getting an ornament. So
Yeah.
like we have ones from like Hawaii. We just went to Colorado. I got
Yeah.
3 there.
Anniversary. anytime,
Anniversaries. Izzy has like multiple for just like being alive, and she's like not even one.
Yeah. Which I respect that because I love holiday decor.
I'm not gonna do like I don't like the like, oh, I'm doing all red this year on my tree. Like
Right.
no, I've got the uniquest of ornaments, and I love it.
You know who crushed Christmas every year? Grandmommy.
Grandmommy
Jane
crushes
Tucker.
like everything.
They would do the flocked, I think is what it's called,
Yeah,
right?
flocked.
Trees
Beautiful.
and white lights, but like do it real nice with everything, and then all the other stuff. And then my mom would usually go all out. She had a lot of old like stuff. There was one thing where it was like this weird doll that my dad said was a Chucky doll, which always terrified me.
It was a Christmas thing.
It was some sort of elf or something,
shit
but it
like
was
that.
hideous. And so it you need to talk about your mom, that thing, because
Sylvia's
that's
got
terrifying.
some stuff I don't like either.
Like a weird elf guy or something,
I
right?
don't know. I don't know what he is, but it's
Yeah.
in her room all the time, and
We'll
it
put
creeps
it on
me
the
out.
Patreon.
I
It's
took a
terrifying.
picture of it the other day.
Um,
It's terrifying.
yeah, I'm not big on. I'm not. This was something that we were going to talk about. Like, people are kind of like, I don't really care about Halloween, or like, I fucking love Halloween.
Yeah, there's not a
Like,
middle.
Go all out.
Do you
like,
think there's a middle?
I don't think so.
Because like I'll be honest, I enjoy I like the little pumpkins and like
Right.
seeing the little kids dressed up like little black cats or whatever.
Sure.
Like all that stuff's
Adorable.
so cute. But like then there's like I don't want to like be chased by a chainsaw.
Right.
You know?
We went trick-or-treating just around the neighborhood, which was fun. Izzy didn't really know what the hell was going on. But
Dude,
then
she's like getting the candies.
Yeah, she was reaching into the bowl. That was adorable.
Cutie.
Moana.
Yeah, we all dressed up. We'll put that up too.
Yeah,
I put it on the Heim Instagram, but I was Tafiti, you were Maui, and Izzy was Moana.
Yeah, and it's not cultural appropriation. It's a Disney character,
Yeah,
so don't get mad at me. I know. Well, at this house, the guy said something to me about it, this weird
He was like joking, but then you were like, shit.
And I was like, oh, is this? I don't know. I mean, Matt with Me Church gave me a red hat, and I was like, I don't think I can wear a red hat anymore because of Trump, all the stuff, you know, even if it, you know, whatever it says. I don't know. I don't know how the rules are anymore, but at that house, speaking of, they had a giant demon face Grim Reaper
No,
guy?
that was like Satan, I think. It was the goat head.
Oh.
And isn't that a Satan thing?
I don't know. But it was
it's like you go, like you have to like go past that to like get the candy. And they had like great candy. I was like really impressed. But then I was just like, but I don't. And then I was just like praying. I was like,
protect Izzy, we don't believe in this.
Izzy, don't do this.
It was sketchy. And then
but they were nice.
Went down there.
They were like,
yeah, I guess he gave me shit about the
that guy didn't. The other guy did, right?
Yeah, the people that live there, I think.
Yeah.
But it was also, he was a white guy, so I'm like, what, you know.
I think he had a red beard too.
He did.
Anyway, I know. That's how it is with Christmas. It's either you're like all or nothing. Like, am I switching out every throw pillow? Do we have blankets? Like, people change their entire like sheet set to like all this. Like, yeah. I mean, I do switch out our coffee mugs. I'm like, we're using this month. We're using Christmas coffee mugs.
But that's a big part of our life too. So we love a good decorative coffee mug.
Yeah, coffee is a big part of our life. But like,
time.
I don't know. We've never actually like decorated our house because we just like, I don't know. The holidays are
you
also,
always put stuff out.
No, like outside.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like light.
We also haven't had a house, too.
Well, and also I was going to say like the holidays, I mean, you have to make a point in the restaurant industry to like make it a big deal for you, because if you don't, it flies by because you're so busy.
Right.
Like you go in from Thanksgiving, like now we're getting like, we had meetings yesterday, how like where are we at with orders, all this stuff. And it kind of, I mean, it's sad, but it does kind of take away the enjoyment of like you're celebrating your own holiday, you know, because you're worrying about, I mean, last year we had to go to the restaurant on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
so
that was a disaster.
Well, yeah. But anyway, it's just like, man. So we always have to like make a point to like do holiday festive stuff or it just flies by.
Well, I was talking with Mike Wright, the head pro for a long time at Shady Oaks, and he said he would come in every year to Thanksgiving. Every single year would come in, and like he's like, you know, what am I going to do? But I would help like whoever's working.
Because you just feel like you should.
And stuff. Just kind of help out. The one year he didn't go in, he gets a call that was when the clubhouse burned down, and it was, you know, because we were talking about Dallas and everything.
Like carry that.
I don't know. He brought it up. I was pretty sad about it, but it's not like it was his fault. You know, it's just that's what you're saying. Is like
you always feel like you could have done more or something.
Feel like whatever. So speaking of a little bit of unfortunate news, our Dallas store had a fire.
Yep.
And we had just had an incredible time at Chefs for Farmers event.
Food and Wine Festival.
Which is awesome. And we love that event. And we never could go to it before because it was on the same day as Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest in Austin. It's not going to be a problem anymore. So we can go now for the next couple of years. And we went, and a lot of our friends were there.
Fun.
It's a great food event.
It's very chef driven, which is really cool. There's only like 2 or 3 other barbecue restaurants there, and it's like,
if even, what,
like 80 places, if not more, probably.
Booze was flowing.
Wine, liquor,
music,
beer. They had all these like different little bars set up, and they're like, the one right across from us was like a caboose of a train that they built out into like, was it High West?
High West, yeah. At a Park
So they were doing like old fashions, like it's.
And I'm pretty sure that Cruising Kitchens built that, by the way. The guys that are doing our new food truck, so pretty cool.
But it was awesome. And then like Meat Church was there, so we got to see Matt.
Yeah, I love Matt. He's a great dude, super nice always to us, and we got to talk to him for a little bit, but then he was like actually working, and he had a killer setup.
He had
they
like
won
a mill
Best
scale
Buy too,
there. Mill scale, yeah.
Meal bam bam. Shout out Pat, Patreon follower, supporter. Saw him there. Got to talk a little bit, which was awesome. Great dude. And then we basically get home and put Izzy down, turn on Yellowstone season premiere, which was awesome.
We were like 15 minutes in.
And Wesley texts and is like, this is an emergency,
911.
like a real emergency, and call him. Dallas is on fire.
This episode is brought to you by Tres Agaves Tequila, 100% USDA certified organic tequila.
Delicious tequila, some of our favorite. They got the Añejo, they got the Blanco, they got the Reposado. Tequila made in tequila, slow roasted for approximately 20 hours, almost like delicious brisket, you may say. Tres Agaves, awesome stuff. Thanks for sponsoring Heim Time Podcast. You might want to check out their organic margarita mix. They also have a strawberry margarita mix. No high fructose corn syrup if you're trying to watch the weight like myself. Maybe just a little ranch water, just some tequila over ice. Delicious stuff. Like Emma said, 100% certified organic. Awesome tequila. Thank you, Tres Agaves. Drink some responsibly.
The worst thing you want to hear as a barbecue restaurant owner or any type of restaurant owner. So what we know right now is
not a lot.
yeah, and really not anything, but people were in the restaurant. We were open.
Yeah,
people
it was like
were
dinner.
eating. Yeah,
dinner
it was
hour.
like I think around 8-ish maybe. At least that's around when we got the call. One of the managers, thank God, noticed smoke coming out of one of the AC vents. And I guess it was bad enough to where he was like, this is not good, and got everybody out of there, evacuated everybody. The Dallas Fire Department was there in record time, and we sprayed everything down. Was awesome. There was basically, it started in a wall like next to the kitchen, kind of in between where prep area is and another. And someone said an electrical thing. We don't know if it's electrical. We don't know if it had to do with the AC vent. You know, stuff was just, it was smoking out of that, but who knows? So we don't really know anything, but it was a small area, thank God. I mean, everything else got screwed up because of the water and all that. So smoke damage and water damage. But right now, I guess the last we heard is we're just waiting for insurance investigator guy to come. Because, of course, they have to figure out who is to blame and who has to pay.
What happened.
And we understand that.
But that guy's like at least 2 weeks out.
Allegedly
is what we were told yesterday. And then,
which, I mean,
then you know,
that
after
could be
that would
quicker,
be
but-
like, do you get paid and then repair and clean? And
I mean, that's what we were saying, though, is one way or the other, like whoever's fault it is, like we just need
like
to
we
get
just
open.
need to get
So
open. Yeah.
I don't care.
I just feel
wanna get it going.
Bad for our staff because they were like, what the heck is going on?
Well, everyone was like, do we have a job anymore?
Which,
do we have a restaurant anymore?
And then going in, you know, we just talked about it, but like going into the holidays, it is the busiest time usually with, you know, everyone just bringing in family, but then like pickups and all that. And so trying to find a staff after being shut down for so long and then just like, oh, it's holidays, like let's reopen. We wouldn't be able to reopen because then, especially with the way the world is with employment right now, hiring would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? That's not a, you know, I think the main thing is like, we're just glad everybody's safe, of course.
No,
and
yeah.
that's all good. So we've made the decision we're just going to pay everyone their salary and what they would normally get, 40 hours a week. And I think we can do that for like a couple months maybe. So like we have enough money to
really
do that.
sucks.
But a lot of people reached out and like Sarah Blaskovich and other people, writers and stuff, were like, we want to do a story, Channel 8 to, and they were like, what are you going to do, a GoFundMe or something like that? And we just felt like, you know what, these people are our family, and you got to take care of your family. And so even though we're not 100% sure how it'll work out, we are going to cover everybody, so as if they were working, and then we'll just figure it out. So hopefully when we do reopen, which may not be till next year, people will show up. And it just sucks, man. I feel like we were making great momentum there.
We had our monthly financial yesterday, and it was just like watching it do so well. And then the team over there is just killing it. The GM, will literally do anything to make a guest happy. Like, he's one of the best employees we've ever had. Is just like devastated. Now he doesn't really, he's like, what do I do? So we're going to bring him maybe a couple times a week or something to the other joints. But it's just like, oh my gosh, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Restaurant life is really fun.
You never know what's going to happen, and it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, we did meet with a couple from Alaska this week.
Yeah. Expedition Barbecue.
Yeah, and they're actually being faced now with they have a food truck that they move around and stuff, and then they're being faced with like, should we do the brick and mortar? They have some investor interest, and this is something, we met with them actually the day the fire happened in Dallas. We met them at River, and then we went out to Dallas for that Chefs for Farmers event, and this is like something that you couldn't have said that it was going to happen. Like, we were like talking about like legal stuff, with partnership, all these different things, hiring, cook schedules, all this stuff. Like, we didn't say, hey, by the way, there could be fires, which, by the way, there could be fires.
Well,
it's crazy.
You just never know what's
you just never
happen.
know. Just be prepared for something.
But anyway, we have insurance, and
everyone's safe.
So that's all that matters. But
so keep supporting our Fort Worth shops.
Yeah, for real. We definitely need it now.
Yeah, totally. Sucks.
Yeah. So anyway, not to bum everyone out, but the Expedition Barbecue, Wasilla, Alaska. That's pretty insane. But they did like a little tour, I guess, went to the Troubadour Fest, which we were bummed we couldn't make this year, but we'll be there next year, hopefully. What else you got? Nothing? Okay. Any Brittany updates? I mean, you're pretty on the pulse of that.
I don't think that there is, actually. Like, she's posted some like crazy stuff that we've mentioned before, that she's getting married. She posted last night dancing around in a fluffy dress and said, this isn't my wedding dress because Donatella Versace is currently making mine, which was like, is this real life or not real life? So,
but you don't think that's weird? Because that's what I was going to bring up.
It's extremely weird.
Okay.
And it's sad. Like, I hate to say it. I'm like, damn, that was pretty weird. But she's just like literally like a fairy dancing around. Like, I don't know.
Very odd.
That's about it. That's all that's really going on. I don't think she's like announced anything like shows or anything.
I love one of my all-time favorite shows is Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is back for this season. And I feel like, a lot of times, like, I'm a Larry David curmudgeon, and you have accused me of such in a lot of ways. But one thing I wanted to bring up, I ran to Tom Thumb the other night. It was kind of late to get something. And then I'm standing in line. And whatever line I pick, of course, there's going to be an issue. Mm-hmm. It's going to take forever. So the person in front of me was having some sort of issue with the card. The person in front of them wrote a check, which I haven't seen anyone do in like 20 years. So that took a while. And then as we're waiting, I'm like, it's just, maybe this is just me, but I just feel like everyone's too close. Like, anytime you go anywhere with COVID,
and now you're just hypersensitive.
You're just like, it's too close around me everywhere. So anyway, this lady was like way too close behind me, and then was like, sir. And at that point, I'm just ignoring her.
You're like, no, no, no.
And then she's like, hey, sir. And so I like just turn and look. And she's like, I'm behind you. Again. So far, what have we established? I'm in line. This person's way too close to me. She's telling me she's behind me. And I go, okay. She goes, well, I forgot something. I'm going to go. So would you just watch my cart? And then I'll be right back. So what I want to ask is, am I being a jerk? Is this an okay thing to do? Because then what, of course, happened? My things are on the deal, right? The next person is then, bless you.
Excuse me.
The next person has gone through, they've paid. So now the lady's starting to check my stuff out.
Like, do you mind paying for my stuff too?
At this point, you move down, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying to spread out 6 feet apart, right? But I moved down. Her cart is still over. She's not back yet.
Is there people behind her?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's people walking up, looking at me, and then looking at the cart, and then I just ignored them. Because like, oh, this lady I met 20 seconds ago told me,
like, pull her card
you
out?
can't. No, I'm not going to touch your car. I'm not going to touch someone else's car. I don't know what she's got in there. I don't know what she's been doing. I don't know what she went to go grab that she forgot. So anyway, but then I'm like basically done checking out, and she walks back up and then kind of like looks like she's upset that I didn't like put her things on the deal or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
And didn't say anything, but gave me like a weird look, and then I just left. And that's pretty much the end of the story. But what I was going to ask is, I feel like a lot of times in these moments, I'm like, I don't know if I'm being a jerk or if people just, because I feel like a jerk most of the time. But that's also because I don't like talking to people like in those settings. Yeah. Like I go to Central Market and the guy's like, oh man, you a welder? Because I was like wearing a shirt, and I was just like, yeah, dude, and then just kept walking. But it's like I don't want to engage in, like, I'm trying to get avocados. It's like a whole story. I'm trying to get applesauce for Izzy. Trying to get the hell out of here before I see someone I fired at one of our restaurants.
But I think I'm gonna help somebody if they have like a kid.
Yeah, of course.
But like in that situation, I'd probably just be like, no problem, and then just not.
Right.
Kind of like you did.
Well, then even I saw our friend's mom the other day, and then I was like, wanted to sit, because then she had the baby, and I was going, hey, can I help? But then even then I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But because,
well, if they don't need help, if it's like, oh, clear. Like, dude, a pet peeve for me is like when I've got Izzy alone and I've got like the stroller, I've got diaper bags, I've got obviously a small human, like all this stuff. Adorable. And then like someone doesn't open the door for me, I want to be like, are you serious right now? Like I want to pick a fight with you because for some reason, every time I try to open a door, and the zoo's really bad in the reptile area, there's like door and then door. Mm-hmm. So it's like you got to like open the door and you're like push Izzy in, open the door, push Izzy out. And it's like, for some reason, I just hit the back wheels every time. So Izzy just like every time just like kind of goes to the side. And then I'm like, I wonder how many people are like, wow, what a terrible mother right now. So it's just like, if you could just open the door for me, something like that, that would be helpful.
This is the content I want. This is what I was hoping for.
But like now Izzy's like, she's, almost 11 months, which makes me want to cry inside. Mm-hmm. But I got this like little thing, I don't know what it's called, like a cover for the carts, like Target carts and all that stuff. And then she just sits in it, so she's like her own little person. So I don't like run into things with her as much now. Yeah. Because before it's like you got the Duna, you got the stroller, or the cart, all this different stuff.
Yeah, so. And she loves sitting in that and like looking around and stuff.
She likes to shop, man. Yeah. I'm taking her today. Great. We got family photos tomorrow. Yeah. For the Christmas, which again, I'm probably behind on. I don't know how people keep up with stuff. Yeah, but you got to send out your cards, You
get them out for next year. I just found this article, but for our friend Dan, it says, why eating pizza with a knife and fork is sometimes fine. So he's been shamed in the past, especially like Buff Bros.
Not at Buff Bros, but if you're like a deep dish place.
Buff Bros, they got that soggy ass pizza sometimes. No offense.
Okay.
I'm a fan, but
If you got like a deep dish with like, if you get like a veggie deep dish in Chicago or whatever, you can't be picking that up.
I mean, I just want to say though, deep dish is barely pizza.
Deep dish?
It's like a casserole. That's
Dude,
not
I'm all
pizza
about
to me.
that like crispy thin crust. I like a crunch for sure. And if you got a crunch on anything, I'm in.
Crunch
I
is
got,
good.
well, speaking of Tom Thumb, we got those poppables, Lay's poppables.
Yeah, any
They're
good?
basically like a 3D Dorito.
Nice.
If we can all talk about
Dude,
those.
snack talk.
Snack talk with Emma and Travis. Those 3D Doritos were like life changing. Well, now poppable Lay's is kind of like the same structure. It's like a net, actually. It's like a circle, but it's like a net.
Three-dimensional.
I got 2 types to try to inform you guys about. So far, I have tried the salt and vinegar because you said last night something about like people like salt and vinegar, they hate their own mouths or something. I don't care. I'm a sour person. Like, I love sour.
I forget exactly what it was, but it's like the meme is something like salt and vinegar is just for people who hate themselves or hate their own mouths or something.
I don't know. There's like, for real, the types of like, I guess it's like your taste buds or whatever.
Yeah.
Like what people find delicious
Sour.
is so interesting.
Well, sour and salt or sour, salt, sweet, spice.
Because I could go for a very long time without sweet.
Right.
But if
love
salt
sweets.
and sour were taken from me, I would not enjoy life as much as I do.
Not a huge sour fan, but almost any dish is going to have some element of like acidity
Salt.
or sour,
I gave Izzy a pickle the other day at the restaurant. And she was like, hell yeah, dude. And I was like, oh, you are my
Definitely your
child.
daughter. Yeah. Salt and vinegar is trash, dude. First of all, I'll just say that.
Dude, rude.
When it comes to chips, and maybe we should power rank, but like chip flavor, salt and vinegar, not a fan.
100% a fan.
I don't know. It smells like doctor's office. Like it's just
Don't
gross.
ruin it for me, dude. I hate doctor's offices. Why would you say that? I don't know. He's like, yeah, I love doctor's offices. But come on, dude.
JS, dude. JS.
I would never say that to you. That's so rude.
I don't eat anything that smells like doctor's
It
offices.
doesn't
though,
smell.
so-
It smells like salt and vinegar.
Shout out Jonathan Fox, who we were talking about tiny peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter
And-
cup. Peanut butter cup. Peanut butter cup. Now eat them up.
Reese's, I want more. Reese's, I want more. Our dog Frank had a little toy, chewable toy that would
It was a
sing
Valentine's
peanut butter cups,
gift
peanut butter
that my
cups.
dad gave me with Reese's, and it was like a little tiger. Dude, he still has that thing.
He
He loves it.
kept it for forever.
He like gums
years
it.
before he chewed everything out.
So
of
we'd
it.
always hear that freaking little sound.
Peanut butter cups, peanut butter cups. But yeah, Jonathan sent some sort of trail mix, but it's literally like peanuts and tiny peanut butter cups,
Dude,
which is like, that's not a
so
trail mix,
good.
right? But so yeah, it looks awesome.
yeah, it is. Trail mix is a collaboration of multiple things combined to create the perfect bite.
Halloween candy, we got pretty good. I mean, we bought a ton.
I know,
and
I need
then
to take
had
it to the
3
restaurants to give the
We don't
staff.
have to. Maybe just keep it at
Well,
the
they're
house.
like, yeah.
Twizzlers? Get Twizzlers out of here,
Oh,
right?
what are you talking about? I like Twizzlers.
For real?
Yeah.
Twizzlers are trash.
I like
dude.
the ones where you can like pull them apart.
I don't know if I've had that. I'm not a licorice fan. There's another thing.
My
you
mom
like
used
licorice?
to eat that like black licorice.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
You don't like that, but you like
I don't like dark
Twizzlers.
chocolate. I don't like black licorice. I like regular Twizzlers. Yeah. Those are good. Okay. Should have signed the prenup, I guess.
It's all downhill.
It's all like salt and vinegar, Twizzlers, get out of my house.
Yeah. Izzy. Well, somebody gave like a weird.
The Satan house.
The Satan House gave like a Mexican candy, but it was like spicy, those super, super spicy things. So she like grabbed it and then immediately had it on her hand. And we've already discovered she does not like spicy stuff. So it's like, we're like, no, let's take that.
Yeah, we're like, whoops. Overall, I kind of regretted like putting out the good chocolates and stuff. Because then now we have like a full bag of like not trash candy by any means, but just like the gummies and stuff, where it's like
I'm not a big gummy fan.
I should have put that stuff out. I mean, there is some like Sour Patch Kids and stuff mixed in, which I enjoy.
Straws?
The straws.
The Sour Punch. We used to get those in like middle school, and then you'd like put one in your
soda.
like Dr. Pepper or whatever.
But I'm like,
we're the
why didn't
coolest
we
kids
put
on
those
earth right
things
now.
out and then had the chocolates?
Listen, who put the candy out, you know? I'm not trying to point fingers.
Well,
but
you opened the chocolate, and so then I was
have a
like,
snack.
A week
Had to test
before.
it,
So then
yeah.
I was like, I guess I'll just put this in a jar because it was just on the counter.
Rapid fire. Ready.
Milky Way, no.
Milky Way, no.
I mean, actually, I don't even
Milky
know if
Ways
I've had
were all we had left when we set the
There's
candy
little
out.
2 Milky Ways in there.
These
Like,
kids were like,
two
"Screw
little
this,
turds
dude."
left in there.
You can't even like
I don't-
take Milky
I don't
Ways.
even know if I've like had a Milky Way in the last 20 years.
Baby Ruth.
No.
100 grand we talked about.
What's the 100 grand?
I don't know.
What's
It's
the
in
one
the
later?
bag. Yeah, we should try it. Almond Joy.
Hell no.
I know you don't like that.
Is that the coconut ones?
Yeah.
No.
The cookies and cream crunch thing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Crunch bars.
What's a crunch bar?
It's like the chocolate with like the rice, crispy
Yeah, yeah.
rice.
Like Hershey's?
Kind of.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Butterfinger.
Duh, yeah.
Number 1 candy for you, what?
Probably Snicks.
Snickers, regular Snickers?
Yeah. Also, I like a Kit Kat.
Okay. Give me a break.
Give me a break.
It's like an adult candy.
Twix, underrated. So good.
Twix is good. I like the caramel. I like a little bit of caramel.
You know what's really good is that Take 5, where it's like
Haven't had that.
pretzel. You haven't?
I don't think so.
It's like 5 different things together, and they're really good.
Interesting.
What's your favorite, Baby Ruth?
Well, so, and you know, I've gotten a lot of hate for this in the past. I'm a big Payday fan. Payday.
Which one's that?
It's like with all the peanuts on it.
Oh,
It's like kind of like
I thought that was Baby Ruth.
caramel. No, Baby Ruth's like chocolate, ish. Looks like
You
a.
do like those paydays, yeah.
I'm a big Payday fan. Just like salty peanuts, like peanuts.
Sometimes
That would
I
suck
just,
if I had a
I
peanut
think
allergy.
we talked about this before. Like sometimes, like peanuts can just kick rocks in my book. Like peanut butter, unless it's mini Reese's cups. But sometimes I'm just like, I do not want that. Like it just doesn't sound good. And then other times I'm like, yeah, I'm like eating that like every meal. And then other times I'm like, no.
This was a thing that was on Twitter. Someone suggested a Jellyless Pb J. So I guess what they do is just make a peanut butter sandwich.
PB sandwich.
Just a PB, I guess. But
PB.
maybe add bananas or add something to it.
And like
but
honey
then
or something.
smooth peanut butter. And I was really offended by this because, as you know, I love a great PB & J. I like a strawberry jelly more than a grape jelly. And I like the crunchiest peanut butter on the face of the earth. And you're more of a smooth
That's bullshit.
person.
Bull.
What do you mean?
I like a middle crunch.
Okay, well, I'm not here to
Remember that
stereotype
really
you, but-
funny time I forget what we were talking about. Oh, I think we were like trying to buy peanut butter, and then I was like, just get Jif because choosy moms choose Jif.
And there's like some lady in the aisle that was just dying laughing.
I thought that's
About
funny.
that. So yeah, our restaurants are on fire. Our football teams don't have coaches. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, but we're doing fine. It's almost the best time of the year.
Mentally, are you okay? You're doing great.
Oh, geez. I wish that I could get more sleep in general,
Yeah,
even though I'm going to bed at like 9:30 every night.
we really are.
And then this damn time change, man, I'm telling you.
Time change sucks, dude.
And like Izzy's like, hey, it's 7 a.m. But normally she sleeps pretty late in general, but she's normally like at least 8, sometimes 8:30, and then recently she's like 7 a.m. What's up? So I'm doing okay.
That's good to hear. I was gonna look up who created
Daylight savings time.
George Hudson, you suck.
But
1895, an entomologist from New Zealand came up with the modern concept of daylight savings time. He proposed a 2-hour shift so he'd have more after work hours of sunshine to go bug hunting in the summer. Okay.
So this guy just wanted to bug hunt?
Just wanted to find more bugs.
And then it's just
now I can't get
destroying
sleep.
our life?
Yeah. What an asshole.
Jeez.
You're a real piece of work, George.
Like yesterday, I was tired all day. Like
Yeah.
I just felt like I could take a nap at any point, which is impossible when you have a child. So
Yeah.
you're just like, man.
We did the we've been doing too occasionally the afternoon coffee, which then I feel like then I just crash even more, and that kind of like makes me more.
You got to do
tired.
afternoon coffee at like 2.
Yeah,
You can't do afternoon coffee at like 4.
yeah.
So
What are we
anyway,
doing? Okay, let's do a couple questions.
Yeah, let's
we
do
wanted to
some-
go a little longer because I got to film a thing at 1, so we're gonna try to do 2 episodes, but maybe we'll just go long. And I forgot what else I was going to say. Shout out to Trace Agaves. Patreon questions. We do these every week. If I remember to ask our Patreon followers. So we got some good ones. This is, of course, hilarious. So Tucker Heim. Hey, bozos. Please do an official in-depth ranking of the best margs in Fort Worth and or name your go-to hangover snack.
why is he asking this to us?
Because that's what he cares about. Drinking and partying. It's 20.
Well, number 1, we
or
all know
whatever.
what number 1 is, or should we not start with number 1?
Well, why don't you... are we going to go...
Like 5 to 1?
Yeah.
Have I tried
don't know
that
if I
many
can-
margaritas?
Do that in my mind, but I'll just say some of my favorites.
Favorites.
And then you can go. We haven't been drinking really at all
No,
lately,
we haven't.
except
but
for the
except
TC
for Trace
game.
Agaves.
Yeah, Trace Agaves, crushing that.
We've been being good.
Do you want to lead it off for
Number
me?
1
Number
in
1.
my book, and then everyone else is also there. Skinny margarita from Joe T. Garcia's.
Skinny Renee.
Skinny Renee.
Skinny Rennie in the computer. That's what it
And it is
used to be.
delicious.
Do you even know what's in it? I don't really know.
It's the
Fresh
one
lime juice,
with the
agave,
deer.
Cazadores,
I think so.
Blanco, and
Lime. It's like literally like, it's like
well,
a
they
straight up
put
skinny
Cointreau in it.
Cointreau.
Yeah, I believe.
That one's good, dude.
Be better with Trace
You know
Agaves.
that. What else? We've recently tried Maria's. They had pretty good ones.
Yeah, not bad.
And they use that brand of tequila,
Socorro, our buddy's an investor on. It's good stuff, I thought. Yeah, the original
Yeah.
knock you on your ass margaritas there.
Gasoline
Get a El
margaritas.
Jefe, and that'll get you.
Dude,
where you need
Riata
to go.
margaritas are freaking good.
Yeah. Well, they have all the stupid like billionaire where it's like
Yeah, 50 bucks for a
yeah.
margarita. I'm like,
But I
well, I
think it
guess I
has-
will.
1942 Don Julio in it. Asadero, do they have margaritas?
Yeah, they do. They have them in
Yeah.
the cups that look like trees.
Yeah, I remember
Cactus
them having
cups?
good ones.
Oh, taco heads.
Taco heads,
We went
yeah.
to the one in the stockyards,
Yeah,
and I was
Delicious.
like, should I have another one of these? Like,
they're pretty strong.
and I think they're on tap. I think
Yeah.
they're like houses on tap, which, dude, I don't know what it is about that, but I'm like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Like a batched tap drink that's
Well,
boozy.
too, the thing that I never...
Heim barbecue.
Well,
got
I
great
didn't know if you were
margaritas.
going to say that. Yeah, delicious.
I forgot.
Trace Agaves margaritas, and we do $5 margs on Thursday.
And we got frozen ones now at the river,
yeah.
which we didn't have before. So
Mhm. So yeah, Joe T's, of course.
standing in line, which, we don't do that often because we know a couple people.
No big deal.
But like getting a pitcher of margs in line is like probably one of my favorite things.
You just black out by the time you
I haven't done
get
that
to the
in a
chips
long
and salsa. People would literally do that. Like
They
when we
got-
worked there, people would like
Yeah.
get obliterated.
And then you're like, I
carried out
guess
of
you
there.
guys don't need a drink when they finally get to your table to serve them. And you're like, cool, that's like $50 off the tab. Also, another side thing, if you like can't get to an island anytime soon, Joe T's does a pina colada that is like perfect.
Not bad, yeah.
And Rennie has to make those too.
Yeah.
You have to go into the inside bar for the best one, but
Yeah.
ooh. And he does a little cherry.
Yeah, Renee's the best. We
just,
mentioned
like,
him on a
makes you-
previous episode.
It just makes you want to like be like, well, I guess I'll book some flights and get
Yeah.
on out of here.
I could go for a few of those margs right now. Cody Sudderth. I think I said Sudrith earlier. Sudderth, I guess. New Patreon member. Love the content. Thank you, Cody. I work in Burleson, so I can't wait for you guys to open up. Love eating and cooking barbecue. Been obsessed about 3 years ago with the cooking stuff. He said favorite Mexican food in DFW. Kind of just answered that. Favorite tailgate foods. If you're cooking at home on a football Saturday, what are you making?
Well, favorite Mexican food for me is La Playa Maya.
La Playa Maya is great.
Underrated as all get out. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is seriously so good, and the people are so nice. I don't really
Cheap,
love their margaritas.
affordable.
Like, I think you have to just be like, I'll take like a ranch water or something there, because I think they use some mix and stuff. But like, it's really good. You can take your kid there. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Izzy can be loud. No one cares.
Yeah,
It's
and we
like,
always go at
whatever.
like 4.
Yeah, I love Asaderos. We haven't been there in forever. I love Joe T's. Love the original. I mean, there's so many good Tex-Mex kind of places. And then one that we mentioned the other day, Jose. That's
Jose
like a
in Dallas.
fancy, kind of thing. But some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Really, really.
And really inventive stuff
Yeah.
too.
Well, they're like making their own tortillas from the masa, like doing all the extra work. And
Their
it's
margaritas
awesome.
are good there too,
Yeah.
or whatever I had. It was like a ranch water. What I had.
I don't know. Whatever I had was delicious. I had like a tequila old fashioned at the end that was good. Favorite tailgate foods, cooking at home on a football Saturday. I haven't done that in years, but favorite tailgate foods. I did a tailgating like barbecue class the other day for that thing in Dallas. I love like smaller bite finger food type
Yeah.
stuff. Do like a Texas Twinkie, but do it like the Panther City version with the bacon burn end in it, or like a shrimp wrapped jalapeno popper, something cool. But like you can prep it the day ahead. It's not going to take 20 hours to cook. Like those are always great tailgate foods to me. Those little bite-sized twice-baked potatoes we do. I mean, even like tacos, something like that.
I'm
Like
doing queso, bro.
queso's great.
Oh, so
Queso's
good.
great. Yeah. You could do
Chicken
the
wings.
smoked queso. We got a recipe on Patreon
Yeah.
for the smoked queso. Wings are good, but again, like stay away from the fryer, right? Because you got to bring a fryer out to tailgate.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare.
Well, just at home or
burgers.
something.
Tailgate or cooking at home is one thing. Yeah. Yeah, burgers are great. Do like a burger bar.
Sliders.
We have people over, have all the fixins and stuff, and then you can kind of create your own. That would be fun.
And then a Bloody Mary bar.
Bloody Mary bar,
Yeah.
especially if it's an early
At like
game.
a 11 a.m. game.
pro
Those
move.
are the best.
Yeah. Pro move. Wesley, who should be the next coach at TCU? We kind of talked about that. What would you both be doing today if you weren't owners of Heim Barbecue?
Ooh.
That's a great
I
question.
mean, we kind of talked about that before.
Of what we were doing, yeah.
What we were doing. If we weren't doing this, I'd be a race car driver.
That makes sense. From riding with you, I
It's
could
like
see.
That's like one thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something.
The first female F1 driver,
Yeah.
possibly. I believe in you.
And then something like get like maybe like a store, which I still kind of want to do, either consignment store or some type of boutique or something.
That's a great idea. I've said that for years.
I do want to do that.
If you had time to do it, but I'd probably be hanging drywall somewhere, honestly. I enjoyed real estate when I did it in
Yeah.
college, and I love like all the dumb million listing stuff. I love the negotiation side. I mean, I negotiate all of our leases, all of our like stuff. So I still get to do the fun part of that in like our current work. And I enjoy that because it's like you got to start out with a good deal. Otherwise, who cares if you're, you know, selling really good food. So maybe something in real estate.
Wait, I'd like to be a photographer.
Yeah.
And,
you're good at that too.
And a design, because I get like the same like you get to negotiate and use those type of talents, and then I get to do the design side. I think I'd love to do something like that full time, and then like, or be a photographer. Like the other day we did a photo shoot, which I guess I can say, for Southern Living.
Should be out.
And it'll be out like January, I think. But like, it was so dope. The lady was like, she had her like huge MacBook Pro, and she was like, I want you to like help me stage, and then I want you to like approve the photo before we go to the next one. And like, so I was like literally getting to like be in the moment with her, and it was like so cool. But I've always had like a desire to do more like that kind of stuff. But I could just do that for the restaurant.
Bingo.
Ding dong.
Get you a nice camera.
Talk to the CFO later.
I bought you a nice camera one time.
That's 10 years ago.
I know it's
babe.
old, but
yeah.
I mean,
now you can just like literally push a button and it goes to your phone, so you can like post on its social.
Just trying to support your dreams.
That I used for like 5 years.
You did, yeah. Photography is one of those things where it's like people from high school, it's like either some sort of pyramid scheme, or they're like, I'm a photographer now, and you're
yes,
like,
dude, I shoot weddings. And I'm like, you do?
Do you?
I think I know
Since
at
when?
least 3 people. Yes. And I'm like, wait, what? You know how to like do photography?
Yeah. It's kind of like
It's just
being
like set on auto, or are you like actually doing photography? It's kind of interesting.
Kind of like being a pit master, I guess. You can just say you're a pit master, and then
Where did you get the money to buy that $5,000 camera?
Dude, those things are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that Paul has
I know
here,
this stuff
like,
right here.
really
I'm
nice.
like, damn.
You can get our beautiful faces in 4K or whatever.
What'd Shuggy Bear ask?
You know, it's again, I'm so talked out of this. I love you, Shug, but Texas Monthly. I know y'all were interested. I know we're all interested in what happened the night of the last podcast taping when y'all saw Daniel at the event. Did you talk to him? Was it good, bad? Does he get a rebuttal on the podcast? Hope to hear all the juicy deets.
Did we see Daniel?
I'm past this, I think.
I
feel
too.
like we've talked about it enough, and I'm glad a lot of people really reached out to us, and even the NBC thing that we filmed was like, Heim Barbecue's still one of the best in Texas, even though they got snubbed. I've muted pretty much anything related to barbecue on my social media feeds just because it was like, I need a break from this.
Yeah.
After everything that was going on. So, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to get into it, but we talked briefly, and I don't even want to say what he said, but we didn't discuss why we didn't make the list.
It was in front of a lot of people, which was awkward. So that's it. You didn't say, no one, there was no surface to it, I guess you could say. We didn't ask why. He didn't offer why. It was very much like, hey. Yeah. And then that's when we went to Jose's because we were like, our staff is good. We went to the event because we really love the home of the people that it was at and the client, and, they've become almost friends now. And so we went to see them, and then
for the catering deal,
and then we had actually had a reservation,
which was great. But it was still like, that guy was giving me shit about not buying a $5,000 photo or painting, which I'm still pretty upset about. Had a lot going on, had a lot on my mind, and so it's like we've been going through a lot leading up to Texas Monthly, and then we talked about everything that happened, and then not getting on it, and then literally the next day we have to go, and so all of those feelings of like just everything were still there and fresh, and
but no, there's no like we didn't get any like closure from him. We just
No, and I didn't want
feel
any.
better.
I didn't.
'Cause we're
I didn't.
strong.
I don't care. You
I
know
don't
what I
really
mean? I
care
guess at
anymore
this
either.
point, it was like I feel like we're still and have been doing what we think is the best for our company and for our business, and like our standards have never been higher, and what we think is important, and that doesn't fit maybe what they look for, which is, it is what it is. And we've changed and grown as a company and as business owners, and it was just a reality check, I think, more than anything, that like, oh yeah, I guess we're not, whatever. But
It was more of like a mental adjustment for us as owners of like what we found important 5, 6, 7 years ago is still an important thing,
right.
but it's not our main focus anymore. Our main focus is what we've said 1,000 times, is being good to our people, being good to our guests, our clients that do catering, creating great food that's consistent with gracious hospitality. And if doing Heim in multiple locations and that takes us off the list, that's okay. Like, I started really thinking about it, and I'm just like, who in their right mind would feel bad,
Right.
for being excluded from a list like that if you have this wonderful growth and what, the community that we've had and all this stuff. We don't have to get into it anymore, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like it's okay at this point. So
Yeah, I think we feel okay.
we're in a
with
better
it.
position than if we had stayed in a food truck or whatever than just to be on a list.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. It's just not, you can't, it's
Heim
not.
wouldn't be a thing if we were just in the food truck still, I don't think.
Heim,
Would you still want to be 5 years in a food truck? Like, no.
We couldn't. I mean, the amount of work that we were doing and everything, and it's just not a sustainable business model, which is why a lot of these places have only been open a year or so. And especially as volume, you try to cook more, then all of those things become tougher. And like with us, you have to hire more, you have to have more expenses, you have all this other stuff. And it's going to be challenging, I think, for a lot of the places. Just success is, you're successful and you want to grow, and trying to make that all work is tough. But yeah, I was going to say no hard feelings, but that's not really true. I'm still pretty upset about it. I've seen.
I think it's upsetting how it came about.
Right.
Not
but I've seen too, like I've seen Daniel say like contradictory things on different podcasts of how they rate places, and it's just one visit, or it's all these other visits and things. And he's been very complimentary of us in saying, despite the fact, like Bud Kennedy had him on the podcast, and of course I didn't listen to it, but the tagline or the title said something about Heim barbecue, and so.
I didn't listen to that either.
Yeah, I won't. I don't know about most of this stuff unless you tell me about it. But he's said nice things about us and how we started. So there's nothing really I have against Daniel or whatever. And it's just one of those things where it hurts you more than anything. So was it good? No. Was it bad? Not really. I mean, we just kind of.
Was it awkward? Yeah.
Yeah, right in the middle of everyone else.
Extremely awkward.
And, maybe not where I would apologize to someone if I was going to do it, but was it bad? Not really. Does he give a rebuttal? No, not on here. I mean, he doesn't need to. I think they have a.
What's he gonna say? Like, sorry, like.
Well, it's not. We don't. I don't want that. We don't need that. It's just, I think they have what they looked for in the places, and that's fine. And it's just, this is more our thing that we have to deal with and understand more than, I don't want to.
Well, I don't also like, this is our podcast. Like, I don't want him to come on and be like, well, the bite of brisket wasn't like the food
Yeah.
truck or whatever. Like I don't need to hear that from
Right.
him
And
on our podcast.
again, I think we have different views on what
100%.
makes a great barbecue place, but that's neither here nor there. But they did a great job with the list. Got a lot of these places that are going to get huge publicity from that, and that's going to be awesome. It sucks for the places that were left off that we think are really good, and like including us. Obviously we were disappointed, but what I said to Daniel, it is what it is. I don't really know what else to say besides that. So hopefully that was juicy enough deets, but what can you do? So I think the team was
Focus on us.
a little bit devastated by it, like we
Yeah.
said, but I think it's been good. I mean, our sales have increased since then, although Dallas,
Although we
just
got a
almost burnt to
fire.
the ground, which is like, great. When it rains, it pours. But, if anything, we can look and be like, okay, well, this is how, their view of us is as whatever. And maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's you can always improve. I mean, that's what we tell the
Yeah.
managers, tell the team is like every day we should be looking at improving on our hospitality, on our food. That doesn't mean like changing how we do briskets every day, but we're constantly tweaking, constantly trying to make things more consistent, better, all of that. That's hard to do when you're 7 days a week, open 363 days a year, which is tough, but that's what we care about, and it is what it is. So hopefully that's the last time we have to talk about Texas Monthly. But yeah, and
What's Texas
great.
Monthly? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the Chefs for Farmers event was awesome, and that was a big thing for us of like, that's what we love. I love like Troubadour, we're bummed we missed and all that, but it's like, I love those type of events. It's like more chefs, stuff. We can really showcase, like we did our little salad deal that everybody loved. A lot of people said it was their favorite thing. That was cool. That was really fun. So I think, we have a different maybe path or focus, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So
Doesn't appear to be a bad thing.
yeah, I mean, we're doing all right, especially like we had our financial meeting yesterday, and to compare, that's what I was going to say when you were talking earlier is like, for the last year and a half, we've also been just trying to stay open.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
It's crazy.
it's one thing when everything you do and every Instagram post and everything is to be on the Texas Monthly list. We're like, we have 160 plus families that we're trying to keep with jobs. So I think that's also, it's just been tough. And, were we at 100% all of the time? Probably not. I mean, there's times where things aren't perfect. And we had I didn't know if you wanted me to bring this up, but we ran out of something the other day, and apparently the cashier, someone
Oh my gosh.
someone complained.
Someone I hired years ago. He's been with us a long time.
A long time. Someone that should know better, but someone complained that their order, we had run out of whatever they ordered, and they were like, it took forever and you don't even have it. And then this person replied, shit happens.
Shit happens.
So that's the level of service you're getting at your local barbecue. Well, not anymore, I guess. He's not with us anymore, but an example of how you can try everything, and the culture is the way we want, and the hiring, and we go to all this training and all that, and yet even people who have worked with you for 4 or 5 years sometimes make mistakes, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
We saw that thing the other day. Somebody threw hot soup in a cashier's face too.
Yeah.
So it's like, the last year and a half has been a nightmare for your frontline workers who are dealing with lunatics who are, on the edge of
It's crazy out there.
losing it. So anyway, what a great way to end the podcast. Do you have anything else for us?
That was the last question.
I guess, yeah. Shugs. I think I got
The second part of
message.
Tucker's was the best hangover, and we always hangover food, and we always do pizza.
Yeah, pizza's great because it just soaks everything up.
If I'm able, I'm trying to go to like a Joe T's or something the next day.
Yeah.
Get some like enchiladas or whatever.
Yeah, you were annoyed with me because I was hungover at Chefs for Farmers, but also like we didn't eat that whole day. That was a whole like long ass day, but celebrated the TCU win a little too hard with some Tres Agaves tequila, and I haven't been hungover in a while, but yeah, pizza's probably
No, like that's honestly why I'm like, why drink? Because then and then now that we haven't been drinking much, like 2 cocktails is like, okay, I'm ruined the next day. I had like
2 Pacificas, and I was like, yelling at the referees, which I do anyway. But
it's just like, is this worth it? Like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
So then now I'm just like, well, we're just like lightweights, and
for sure,
it's just like not very fun the next day, and that's the worst part. It's just like, well, then you just feel terrible the next day, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm a mom.
Have to care for a child.
To like run a business, and it's just like it doesn't equal to a great time. So
no, I think I'm gonna get back on my not drinking thing for a while. Although we have a wine dinner Thursday.
We do have a wine dinner, but that's like something like, okay, we know
sophisticated.
We haven't drank since the TCU game. But it's just like we know like when you can do it, and that's, I guess, balance of being a parent.
Yeah, being an adult. But drink Tres Agaves.
Drink Tres Agaves and do it at your local Heim barbecue.
Yeah. If one of your employees tells someone shit happens, it's a great time. Tres Agaves. If one of your restaurant almost burns to the ground, it's a great time to drink Tres Agaves. I had some that night after we saw Daniel, so I don't know if that's use your tequila to cope with depression. It's probably not the best thing, but anyway, who cares? If you do that, use Tres Agaves.
Yeah, and think of us, and then become a Patreon member at
Patreon.com.
Patreon.com.
I don't think you have to say WW. You sound like 1998.
I am 19. I'm young. What are you talking about? www.
http://:/patreon.com.
If
you pull up your AOL.
Get out of my house. I'm trying to talk.
Okay, sorry.
Patreon.com/Heim Time Podcast.
Yeah.
You can also follow us on Instagram at Heim Time Podcast. $5 a month on the Patreon. We are in a forward momentum.
Yeah.
Trajectory, and we are getting more members, so continue moving us forward and supporting this podcast directly.
We didn't talk about the cult.
We're going to talk about it
We'll talk about that next time. But this is kind of like a cult. We have 35 cult members.
Okay, Jesus.
Is it? No?
We love Jesus.
In a positive way. This is like a cult for like Britney Spears news and
like a cool thing, not like a bad thing and influence upon your life.
Right.
And like being bad to your kids and stuff.
Okay, well that's the other thing. This is like a fun, enjoyable, like.
I just wouldn't use the word cult.
Okay.
Why you keep using cult?
That's funny to me.
Thank you guys.
If you want to join our cult, patreon.com, 35 members. We're going to do some merch. We promise. We're just kind of working out the
details. I got an email
details.
today on some merch, actually. I haven't even talked to you about.
Oh,
yeah,
new
haven't
stuff?
had the time.
Hot new stuff.
Trying to drink my coughs, make eggs for my kid.
Yeah.
Got the tour.
I mean, God knows what's happened since we've been in here.
I've got a full.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Catherine made a joke about like, if I get hit by a bus, and I was like, well, don't be anywhere near us. We have the worst. Somebody said the thing like, if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. Which I was like, yeah, that's literally my life. But
yeah.
And then shout out Brandon Colston sent a really nice message. Sorry to hear about the headache. Hope you guys are doing well. When you're going through hell, keep going.
That's a great song.
Yeah. So shout out him. Shout out the new Patreon members.
Tell your friends.
You enjoyed this episode, and tell your friends. Tag us.
Don't be a
share,
pickle sandwich guy.
Review. Pickle sandwich guy sucks. Bye.
Bye.